Well, welcome to day 4 of our challenge. So challenge number 4, we're going to be making what we call a spider mum. And this is what our spider mum is going to look like. I've used one band to go around on this one, but you can make it thicker if you wish. So let's start by uploading our template and get moving on what we are going to do for this next challenge. And we're going to upload our next little template here, which is going to be the one right here, and it's called Spider Mum Challenge 4, and we're going to add that to our canvas. So the materials you're going to need for this one are fairly simple. Once again, you're going to need a medium or light cardstock in any color that you wish. And you're going to need another stem for your flower, some floral tape, some glue, and some scissors. The process is pretty well similar, except we're doing a rolled version, like a rolled rose almost, with a little bit of a twist. So let's start by ungrouping what we see here. And I have already done the 3 leaves for you as you want. You're just going to have to add our score lines. Now we have cut lines here, all kinds of them to go with the back of the flower. So the first thing we want to do here is to go ahead and attach these together so that we don't lose them. Now they all move as one piece. Now I did a thinner version. If you wanted to, you could duplicate this so that you have a lot more fronds, and that's all you're going to need. Okay, so let's start with coming through here and adding our score lines. I probably should have just done it all at once. So let's just show you a little shortcut here. So let's grab our score line. Come on over here from the top, and we don't need it down through the stem. Let's just take this and let's align these horizontally. That looks good. Let's attach it. Now I'm pretty lazy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these other 2. I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it twice because that's all I need. Okay, so we have our leaves already, and we have our 2 pieces for fronds that are all ready. So the lighter the cardstock you use with this particular project, the easier it is going to be when you assemble it. I tend to use more of a medium cardstock that I have available. It is a bit thicker, and it will roll fatter when you go to put it on the stem. So I'm suggesting maybe a lighter cardstock when we come to this. So let's make sure we save this. And this is called a Spiral Mum. And I'll just save it. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make it. And I'm going to take a look at the mats that we have. And we're going on mat, and we're going to continue. Now, it just simply cuts these 2 pieces out with a lot of lines being cut. So you just have to remember it's going to take a little while for those 2 to cut. And for our leaves, it's not going to take up very much paper. They are going to be green, and you just need something about 6.5 by 3 in order to put on that mat. So we are ready to get started here. I'm just going to select my device. I'll just take a second or 2 to connect. And I'm just going to go for a medium cardstock, and I need my scoring wheel. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And then I am going to go over to the demo table and show you how to put it all together. So let's get it cut yours, and then we will go ahead and put it together. All right, everything is cut, and I've cut 2 of these because the first one that I put together, of course, I just had the single frond. So that's, pretty sparse, but it works extremely well. So what we're going to do is, now that we have 2 layers of these, I'm going to start by flipping it over and deciding, do I want the yellow to the bottom like this, or do I want to start by rolling with this and then have these at the top? Well, I'm thinking I want to roll it so I have, of course, the white at the bottom. So the first thing you want to do is take whatever stem that you are going to be using, And we're going to place it down at the bottom. And I mentioned the bottom left. And you want to come down to the bottom left here. And we're going to apply glue all along this outside edge. And we're going to roll it up. And then we're going to add this one to it. So I'm going to take my tacky glue once again, and I am going to put some glue all the way down the end and back, because I want to make sure everything is going to stick into place. And I don't want too much, but I am just going to cap it off and set it back up so that I can use it for the second piece. So this is the easier part of what you want to do. So you want to place your stem inside here. Now get it going here. Just want to lift it up. This is a medium cardstock, so it's a little tougher. So all I'm doing is I'm going to roll this all the way through as tightly as I possibly can, trying to keep this bottom edge straight. So what I can do is just keep rolling it. Now, remember, this is just one set right here. And that's looking pretty straight right now. It's pretty easy to keep it straight. And you just want to make sure you have a nice tight wrap on it. Now I'm going to have to do the same thing with the next one. Now this is all going to hold together and this will come out, but I'm going to add a second piece to it, and that's this one. So I want to add the glue here, but I'm going to move this down just a little bit here so that I'm catching another part of it so it doesn't get too thick at the top here. So let me just add my glue here. Just move this out of the way. Add my extra pieces of glue here, all the way down and all the way across the top pieces here. Make sure I get enough glue into place. Okay, let's put the cap on. All right, so I want to place it because I'm doing a second one, and just in case you're doing a second one, I'm just going to place it about a ½ inch different than what the other one was, if I can get my fingers in there. And I'm going to roll it the same, but I'm going to roll it to the bottom. So I just want to keep it as tight as I possibly can across the bottom, even though the top part is thicker. So this is going to be a little more difficult to roll into place. You want to try and keep it as straight as possible. Now you are going to get a lot of this onto your fingers, so don't worry about it. Even if it goes crooked a little bit, keep it straight as possible, but you're rolling to the bottom this time. So don't worry if it bends over. Getting closer here. You don't want too much of a gap at the bottom. So sometimes I just wrap it over. I'm getting a second piece going in here. Now this is looking really good. Too thick at the top. So there we go. And I'm going to add some extra glue just to make sure everything stays in place. Just a little more to roll here. There we go. And, you know, we're going to take care of it with a lot of our floral tape. But you want to make sure everything sticks in place. And you'll see that I've got a nice large gap here, but that's okay. We'll take care of that with a lot of our floral tape. So I'm just going to twist it a little bit here to make sure it stays to the top. So now we have a lot of Spider Mum pieces that we can pull out and against here. As you can see, our Spider Mum is going to be the yellow because of the way we rolled it up. And if I had used the white the other way. So as you can see, we've got some beautiful different shapes that we can use in here. The Spider Mum, you could add something to the center if you want. Now, the big finishing touches here is going to be adding the leaves, and we're going to need the floral tape, and we're going to do something very similar to what we did with this one. Now, I know my glue isn't that dry, but I'm going to show you what I want you to do here right away. And that's on the inside. So I'm going to come up to the top as best as possible and really make this tight across the top as much as possible, because that's going to be the top part of our flower, and I am keeping it very, very, very tight. And that's so everything will stay in place. And you can see it looks more like a flower top at this point. And I'm just going to wrap it around a few more times so it doesn't show through. You just keep it going. There we are. Now, as I roll down on the stem, I'm going to be putting my leaves in place, and I folded them just slightly, and they don't have to be big. As you can see, we've got flaps on this one to make it a little easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it right to that edge. Now, they're going to be in a similar position, so I'm just going to slide the next one in, not too far away from that one, and roll it some more. And we will gradually roll it through. And I'm going to have 1/3 one that's going to go in here. Pull it down just a little bit. And the big key here is to keep wrapping it around and around and around until you feel that it's tighter in place. Now I'm going a little quickly because I've got everything in place that I wanted to have. And that should be really good the way we're going here. All right, so let me just cut off this last little piece here. And I'm going to keep rolling it in the same direction, always in the same direction. If you don't roll it in the same direction, it's going to come unraveled. And the last little thing I want to do here is add a little glue to the end of my floral tape, just to make sure it's going to stay in place. And that is all there is to this beautiful mum. I'm going to pull these leaves down a bit so that we can see them, and then add the beautiful, beautiful spider parts here. So then you can add anything you want in the middle. So there's a couple of different variations, one with 1 round and one with 2. These turned out absolutely beautifully. So this is challenge number 4, and I hope you really enjoyed working on this one. And then we are ready to do challenge number 5.